would you say if I told you things had never changed and we'll find a way to take our dreams and rearrange them? Who'd believe that we could be in love again? So let's just pretend that you and me can be just good friends.
All right, Tom?
How you do, Carvings?
Nah, I just found it in that pile of metal over there. Where's the old man?
He's over there somewhere.
Cheers. Dad! You got a minute?
I'll be with you, Vincey. It's worth considering, Clifford. Give it some thought, that's all I ask.
I don't want to go round the world.
Negative thinking, Clifford. Look, all you need is a pair of boots, a compass and a knapsack on your back, and in a couple of weeks you'll be hitchhiking through Iran.
Iran? But they kill people over there.
Don't let quaint local customs put you off, Clifford. Give it some thought, that's all. And should you decide to devote the next 10 or 15 years of your life travelling this world, gaining experience in a daily dice with death, me and your mother won't stand in your way.
I'll bear it in mind, Dad.
Good boy. I mean, look at your brother Vincent. He's done his share of travelling.
I never travelled, he's just gone on the run.
Well, whatever. Give us that.
Sorry about that, Dad.
He's broken a bulldozer now.
How do you manage that?
God knows. He's broken everything from my laser beam music centre to your mother's art. What you come round for? Show off the new motor, or has your betting shop burned down?
No, I've got a bit of a problem. I want your advice.
You want my advice?
Yeah, well, that's what fathers are for. I read it somewhere.
You haven't asked for my advice in all your life.
Ah, but as I said to Debbie Matthews on that nature walk in Epping Forest, there's a first time for everything.
You and Deborah Matthews were expelled.
Ah, but that's the way to get expelled. Be smoking in the toilets any day.
I should have had you doctored years ago. We can talk in the office. Right. What's your problem? Drink?
No, it's nothing like that. Oh, I see, yeah, a large one. You got more crap in here than you got out in the yard.
What's her name?
Who?
Your problem.
Now, why does it have to be a girl?
I know you too well, son. It's always been one bird or another. I still remember the time your mother found a love bite on your big toe. I said to her, it's just a phase he's going through. By the time he's 15, he'll be over it. Somehow.
Now, this is why I never came to you for advice. You always had to be one guess ahead of me, giving me the answer before I'd even asked the question.
So what's her name?
Penny.
Penny? Yeah, that was the other one's name, weren't it?
Which one's that?
The posh girl from Chipping-Ongar. The one you were supposed to marry 5 years ago.
Oh, yeah, well, that was her name as well, yeah. Well, you know, me had him for a penny.
She used to think she was royalty, didn't she?
No, you misjudged her. She was refined, cultured and articulate. A little bum like a peach.
Well, whenever she was in our house, I was always looking over my shoulder to see what the footman was doing. I hope this one ain't like her.
Well, it's funny you should mention it, but she is very much like her.
In what way?
Well, in the way that it is her.
No, pulling me leg. You haven't picked up with her again?
No, I haven't picked up with her. We're friends, sort of. We accidentally bumped into each other about 3 weeks ago, and since then we've become friendly.
How friendly?
Well, friendly. I mean, you jumped to conclusions if I told you last night we ended up in bed together.
Well, that's quite friendly. I mean, you can't get much friendlier than that, can you?
Well, I mean, nothing happened. I mean, she was very nervous. It was the nearest you could get to adultery without going, "Ooh."
Adultery? You mean she's married now?
Separated. She's divorcing him on the grounds of his unreasonable boredom.
I have met some twats in my time, but you must be a gold medalist. If this is what you wanted, you could have married her 5 years ago when you had the chance. But, oh, no, not you. You had to do a runner, didn't you?
Was it my fault?
So whose fault was it?
Her mother's.
Ah, don't give me that, son.
Her mother's a Martian. I mean, you should have had some of the treatment her family were giving me as the wedding got closer. Do this, do that, be here, go there, stand up, sit down. They were programming me like a microchip. By the time I walked down that aisle, I'd have looked like Metal Bloody Mickey. And maybe this is the way with Martian weddings. But it didn't go down too well with this Walthamstow boy.
I didn't know you felt like that, Vincey. You seem to be all right.
Well, outwardly, I may have appeared to be my usual self. Cool and collected with a winning smile. But inside, I felt as if I was trapped in one of your crushing machines. Life closed in on me. There was no air to breathe. I knew that if I didn't escape, my head was going to explode.
I didn't know it was that bad, boy. Why didn't you come round and talk to me? I was your father.
You still are.
Why didn't you come round and ask for help, eh? Yeah, when you was born and I knew I had a son, I started looking forward to the time you were old enough to get into trouble. Because then I thought he'll come to his old dad for advice.
I asked you what I could do about spots once, and you said, don't squeeze them in the house.
Here you are, you see, always willing to advise.
Well, I'm here now, and I want your advice.
Good. Good. Right, I'm ready. Fire away, Vincent.
All right? How'd you sell a girl who 5 years ago you promised to marry, then jeweled her at the altar, betrayed her trust, and emotionally scarred her for life, that you love her?
How the hell should I know?
I'm glad I came for this little chat, Dan.
Do you love her?
Yeah. It's affecting me badly. I'm losing sleep. I'm reckoning bets up wrong the old bit.
I don't know, boy. Why do you have so much trouble with women, Vincey?
It's not my fault.
Nothing ever is it?
Oh, you've noticed that, have you? It's been going on for so long now, I've forgotten why women yearn for me. Oh, yes, now I remember.
Will you listen to it? Do you really love her?
Who?
Penny.
Yeah, I really love her.
Then tell her.
It's a bit drastic, isn't it?
No. It's just a little thing called telling the truth. Now, I am aware that this is new territory for you, but give it a go, boy. Believe me, telling the truth ain't that bad.
She might laugh in my face.
I didn't say it was going to be a cakewalk, did I? Tell her. I will be outside. Oh, and Vincent, how did you get a love bite on your big toe?
It was very dark, Dad. Oh, hello, Mr. Warrender. Oh, sorry, Mrs. Warrender.
Drunk again, Vincent?
Yes, am I, Mrs. Warrender. Could I speak to Penelope, please?
Penny! It's Thing.
Oh, no, not him. He's the last person I wanted to talk to.
I'll tell him you're right, then.
Oh, it's all right. It's all right. I'll take it. Hello, Thing.
Hello, Pen. Pen, I've been thinking.
Now you know what the doctor told you.
Look, will you listen to me? I've got something very important to tell you.
Okay. Well, I'm listening.
Pen,
It's a very bad line, Vincent.
All right, I'll see you this evening.
What do you mean you'll see me this evening? It may not be convenient. I may have made other arrangements.
Well, cancel them.
Oh, sorry, sir. I forgot. You click your fingers and I drop everything. All right. See you about 8:30.
Did you talk to her?
Yeah.
Good. Take a look at that, will you, Vincent?
Yeah, what about it?
One day, it'll all be yours.
I don't want it.
But you got to have it.
No, I don't want it. Give it to Cliff.
I can't give it to him. He'll break it. It's you and me will, Vincent. You ain't got no choice.
Well, don't die, Dad. Just don't die.
I'll do my best, son. I'll do my best.
They really ought to win. But despite the level of unemployment, the government are still well ahead in the opinion.
It makes my blood boil.
Sorry, dear?
The amount of publicity television stations give to this revolution.
It's a right-to-work march, darling.
I know what it is, thank you, Norman. If I had my way, anybody found on a right-to-work march would be sacked.
That would stop their fun and games.
I also think the public should have more say about the nature and contents of television programs. After all, every year I pay my license.
That's funny, so do I.
Don't be childish, Norman.
I'm not being childish. I'm never childish. Even as a child, I was never childish.
Start acting your age, then.
I am going to take my ship to the kitchen sink to see if it floats.
Norman,
What?
good luck.
I shouldn't be too late, but don't wait up for me.
You're making yourself look pathetic.
Look, Mother, let's understand one thing. This is your house, it's your furniture, but it's my life.
Yes, and you should get him out of it as fast as you can.
Should I really? Oh, it's so easy to be brave for someone else, isn't it? Secure in the knowledge that if your advice turns out to be wrong, you can just walk away from the mess unscathed.
Unscathed? Do you think I walked away from that disaster 5 years ago unscathed? Oh, no, Penelope, I was emotionally crippled. It took me years to learn to walk again. And even then, although you weren't to know it, I was limping inside. And I have just learned to run and jump again. And this happens.
Vincent isn't a white slave trader, you know. He's not going to force me into holding topless Tupperware parties.
My God, you only bumped into him 3 weeks ago and already you've become so Brookside. He's not for you, Penny, and you know it. Find yourself a decent man, a sober, law-abiding chap with a future, or failing that, a one-legged Chinese kitchen hand with hepatitis. Anybody but him.
You seem to be forgetting something. I was married to a decent, law-abiding chap with a future.
Graham was a good man.
Yes, he was a wonderful man. And for 2.5 years, I played the part of the dutiful wife. I dusted his collection of Sunday Times colour supplements. I sat through every Jasper Carrot show. Stood by and encouraged him when he decided to buy a Flymo. Until the soul-destroying tedium seeped right through to my bone marrow.
But he was reliable.
Oh, yes, he was like a quartz clock. Do you know, the first time he asked me out for a date, he said he'd meet me in this vegetarian restaurant at 8:07. I should have known then what I was letting myself in for. I mean, who meets anyone at 8:07? And he arrived at 8:07. So the last thing I need is reliability, but... Oh, you wouldn't understand.
I would.
When I'm meeting Vincent, there's unpredictability in the air. I feel excited. Where will we go? What will we do? Will he be there? And that's the difference between the two of them. If Graham asked me round to his place for something to eat, I knew it was because he'd found something different to do with brown rice. When Vincent asks you round to his place for something to eat, you know he means breakfast. And I like that. I know it shocks you.
It doesn't.
I just love that feeling of insecurity, and I'm sorry, is it me? Or have you actually been agreeing with me?
I understand what you're saying, darling. Believe me, I understand it only too well.
I don't think so, Mummy. You have to experience it.
And you think it's beyond me to have had experiences like that? I haven't always been your mother, Penny. Once, I was a woman.
What what are you trying to say?
You may not believe this, but I was a passionate animal once. Well, more than once, actually. Oh, yes, I know the thrill of being with somebody so special that you would do anything for them. I've warmed myself with the fires of illicit love and felt the pains of their beautiful torment. And I'm going to turn round now, and if there's the slightest suspicion of a smirk on your face, I'm going to slap you right across the cheek.
I wasn't laughing at you, Mummy.
I never told you this before. I never thought I would. But your father wasn't the first.
The first what?
He just wasn't the first.
Oh, I see. Did you ever tell Daddy?
Many times. There was a man in my life. His name was David. I was 19 and he was 23. He was very strong and very handsome. Not the most intelligent man you've ever met. I mean, you wouldn't leave him alone with a crossword puzzle. But he had a smile that was so warm and inviting, it completely took your mind off the rationing. One day, we went away for a weekend to Selsey Bill.
Selsey Bill. I've heard it's very nice there.
So have I. I told my mother I was going to a Girl Guides reunion. I'll never forget arriving at the hotel. I thought everyone was looking at me. I could feel their eyes burning into my back. Then again, I suppose the uniform did draw attention.
You mean you went away for a dirty weekend dressed up as a giant brownie?
Well, I could hardly change into my other clothes on a crowded train, could I? We spent 2 days and 2 nights together. We used to walk along the beach just holding hands and listening to the silence. One night we plunged into the sea for a midnight swim and then lay on the beach and let the warm night air dry us.
You were in the nude?
I didn't look, darling. I'll never forget that night. It was the first time I'd enjoyed myself without laughing. After we came back, he seemed to change. I wouldn't see him for weeks on end, and then suddenly he'd turn up out of the blue with that smile. And
did you love him?
I cried for him. That's like love, isn't it?
Oh, yes. That's just like love.
And when I cried, he'd take my face in his hands and kiss each tear away. Your father tried it once, but he said they tasted salty and had to suck a mint. Oh, you see, darling, men like David and even Thing, they're no good. They need freedom. They die in cages. And that's what happened to David and I. One day, he went away and never came back.
Where did he go?
Korea.
Korea? Vincent likes to assert his independence by going to the pub or the dogs. Korea seems a bit extreme.
He went there for the war.
Oh, the Korean War.
Yes, it was held in Korea. That's why they called it the Korean War.
Oh, that's why.
I was sad and frightened, but at the same time proud and excited. My man was a warrior, locked in combat with a foreign foe, fighting for victory and glory. I lost touch with him at first. He was constantly being posted from this naffy store to that naffy store. He seemed to spend the first 3 months in perpetual transit. And then, one day, we had a bit of luck. The jeep that David was traveling in was attacked by a MiG dive bomber.
Oh, that was fortunate, wasn't it?
Yes. He wasn't seriously hurt, just a shell shock and concussion. But this is what I mean by a bit of luck. An old school friend of mine, Edna Springer, nice girl, big feet. Well, she'd started working as a nurse at the military hospital at Suncheon. So I used to write to David, but address the letters to her.
Why?
Well, because by that time I'd become engaged to your father. He didn't think it was odd that I should become pen pals with an old school friend. I wrote 15, maybe 20 letters. He only replied to the first one. Oh, I was angry and hated him. Once, I even wished that he was dead. It was 2 years before I found out what had happened to him.
Oh, Mummy. He died?
No, he'd married Edna Springer. met her at the New Year sales in Oxford Street. She showed me pictures of the wedding. Oh, it was one of those romantic military affairs with a background of shell craters and portable latrines. Him with that smile. And her with those feet.
I never realized that you married Daddy on the rebound.
A rebound? It was more like a ricochet, darling. Oh, no, I'm being unfair. Your father's a good man. You see, darling, life may be richer and more exciting with men like David and even Thing. But with men like your father, well, you always know the rates will be paid. Do you think your father heard any of that?
Oh, I'm sure he didn't.
No?
No.
Perhaps I should have spoken louder then.
There you go.
Oh, thank you.
Penny,
Are you all right?
What? Yeah, I'm fine, I'm fine.
You seem strange.
Well, I spoke with your mother earlier. It always gets me like that. Pen, I've got something very important to say.
Oh, yes, I've been going absolutely mad wondering what this grave announcement can be. All right, I'm all ears.
Well, Pen, just recently I've been thinking a lot about you and me.
You didn't insult me.
What?
I just said I'm all ears. And usually you'd have made some glib little quip like, yes, I've noticed you see much of Noddy these days.
Would I?
Are you sure you're all right?
Yeah, I'm fine, I'm fine. Will you just listen to me for a minute?
Sorry.
Pen, I've known quite a lot of girls in my time. Well, not that many. I mean, compared with most fellas, hardly any at all. Just one or two. You mainly. But despite that, I've now realized...
Oh, God. Did you put any tonic in this?
Look, will you shut up for 2 seconds?
Oh, I'm so sorry, Vincent. I suppose you can hardly hear yourself drink.
Look, will you listen to me?
Carry on.
Thank you. Pen...
Before you go any further...
Oh, God almighty.
Is it anything to do with what happened in your flat last night?
No, all I'm trying to say is... Did something happen in my flat last night?
Oh. Yes.
Well, where was I?
Oh, you mean you don't remember?
Remember what?
For God's sake, Vince, we went to bed together. Say something.
It's all right. She's my sister.
Perfect, Vince. Absolutely perfect.
Look, Pen, I know we went to bed together, but nothing happened. You just sat bolt upright telling me how you were suffering from more stress than a Concorde's wing.
It didn't mean anything to you?
Nothing happened.
Well, it did for me, Vince.
You must be easily pleased, Penelope.
What I'm trying to say, you moron, is... Don't you find it odd that something like that could happen between... friends?
No.
You go to bed with all your friends?
No. I just fancy you more than other blokes.
Why are you doing that?
Doing what?
Feeling guilty?
Me?
You're behaving like a child who's been caught stealing sweets. You just smiled at that girl.
No, Pen, I had something stuck with me teeth. I just went...
Oh, don't be so silly, Vince. All I'm trying to say is that you don't have to feel guilty or embarrassed because I'm here. We're just friends. And friends don't become angry or jealous just because you choose to smile at some tart. You can go and talk to her if you like. I'm just a friend. Do you understand?
And that's all it is to you. You don't see us as anything else but just good friends.
Well, no. Do you?
Well, no, I suppose I don't either.
Oh, good. Good. It's so nice to be with someone I feel I can relax with. I mean, we don't have to play those silly mind games, do we? Trying to make each other jealous and things like that.
No, we're very adult, aren't we?
Yes, yes, we are. Oh, he's a good-looking fellow.
He doesn't do a lot for me, Pen.
Lovely broad shoulders.
He hasn't got broad shoulders, he's just got a little head. Anyway, I didn't think you went for cavemen.
Caveman? Oh, come on, Vince.
But he's got a tattoo of a brontosaurus on his chest.
If I ever find out, I'll let you know. You're not getting jealous, are you?
Me? Listen, Pen, if you want to make it with the missing link, that's up to you.
No more for me, thank you.
I'm not getting you a drink. I'm going to go and talk to her. See ya.
Hi, I'm Penny.
Oh, hello, I'm Robin.
And, then you must be Batman. Well, bye.
Saucy little mare.
Not conservative, right?
Not quite.
Sorry to interrupt.
Oh, you're not going, are you, Pen?
Yes, I just brought this over for you.
Oh, thanks.
It's all right, Vince. That's what friends are for.
You, didn't crack it with the Flintstones, then?
No, you'd have stood more chance. Well, bye then.
Pen, I'll, give you a ring.
Vince, will you promise me something?
Name it.
Don't go to Korea.
Who told you?
Is she your girlfriend?
No, we're just good friends. Right, do you fancy a quick one?
Thank you.
Oh, all right. Well, we'll have a drink first.
God damn you, Vincent Pinner. Well, come on then, you idiot. Ring back. I'm here now. Look, I'm here. Please. Ring.
Hello?
Hello?
Oh, hello, Pen. It's me, Vince.